हरि ओम। ओम श्री गणेशाय नमः। ओम श्री हिरण्यगर्भाय नमः। ओम श्री महाविष्णुवे नमः। ओम श्री महादेवाय नमः। ओम श्री महादुर्गायै नमः। ओम श्री रामाय नमः। ओम श्री सद्गुरवे नमः। समस्त जन कल्याणे निरतं करुणामयं नमामि चिन्मयं देवं सद्गुरुं ब्रह्मविद्वरम् शंकरं शंकराचार्यं केशवं बादरायणं सूत्रभाष्यकृतौ वन्दे भगवन्तौ पुनः पुनः। श्रुतिस्मृतिपुराणानाम् आलयं करुणालयं नमामि भगवत्पादः शंकरं लोकशंकरम्। सदाशिवसमारम्भां शङ्कराचार्यमध्यमाम् अस्मदाचार्यपर्यन्तां वन्दे गुरुपरम्पराम्। ईश्वरो गुरुरात्मेति मूर्तिभेदविभागिने व्योमवद्व्याप्तदेहाय दक्षिणामूर्तये नमः। शङ्करं परमानन्दं ब्रह्मनिष्ठं यतीश्वरम् भाष्यभ्रान्तिहरं वन्दे शुद्धज्ञानैकबोधकम्। ॐ नमः शिवाय। 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 ओम 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 नमः शिवाय। नमः पार्वती पतये। हर हर महादेव। हरि ओम। हरि ओम। We'll begin with the Shanti mantra. Om Bhadram Karneभिः शृणुयाम देवाः भद्रं पश्येमाक्षभिर्यजत्राः स्थिरैरङ्गैः सुष्ठुवागंसस्तनूभिः व्यशेम देवहितं यदायुः स्वस्ति न इन्द्रो वृद्धश्रवाः स्वस्ति न पूषा विश्ववेदाः स्वस्ति नस्ताक्षो अरिष्टनेमिः स्वस्ति नो बृहस्पतिर्दधातु। ओम शांति शांति शांतिः। हरि ओम। We shall chant from the 11th mantra. आत्मानं मरणिं कृत्वा प्रणवं चोत्तरारणिं ज्ञाननिर्मतनाभ्यासात् पाशं दहति पण्डितः स एव माया परिमोहितात्मा शरीरमास्थाय करोति सर्वं त्रयन्नपानादिविचित्रभोगैः स एव जाग्रत्परितृप्तिमेति. हरि ओम्. So Shraddha, Bhakti, Dhyana Yogad Avaihi. One can comprehend that Supreme Brahma through Shraddha, Bhakti, and Dhyana Yoga. Or in other words, through Shravan, Manan, and Nididhyasan. We have to approach a teacher from this Vedanta Sampradaya and learn from the teacher. What is the nature of our own self? What is the nature of bondage? What is the nature of freedom? What are the qualifications required? How one should contemplate to comprehend that Supreme Brahma? All this we have to learn from our teacher. And finally, the teacher tells us that you are that Brahma, Tattvamasi. Thereafter, we have to contemplate to gain that conviction. So here the metaphor is given of earning, of churning the woods to kindle fire. In the same way, we have to churn within, we have to contemplate, reflect, till the fire of knowledge gets kindled. And what is the fire of knowledge? That Aham Brahmasmi, I am Brahma. And with this knowledge, all the pasha, all the bondage, all the mesh, all the cords of bondage get burned. So there are very many techniques of contemplation revealed in our Shastras to comprehend the nature of our own self as revealed by the Shastras. One is the Shariratraya Vivek, to contemplate on the nature of these three bodies, Sthula Sharir, Sukshma Sharir, Karana Sharir, to understand the nature of the self. Another is called the Panchakosha Vivek, to contemplate on the five koshas, the Annamaya Kosh, Pranamaya Kosh, Manomaya Kosh, Vijnanamaya Kosh, Anandamaya Kosh, to comprehend the nature of the self. And the third and the very important Vivek which is revealed is the Avasthatraya Vivek, to contemplate on the nature of Jagrat, Swapna and Sushupti avasthas, to understand the nature of the self. And that is what is described here in the following mantras. So let us chant again. Mantra number 12, 13 and 14. स एव माया परिमोहितात्मा शरीरमास्थाय करोति सर्वम् स्त्रयन्नपानादिविचित्रभोगैः स एव जाग्रत्परितृप्तिमेति स्वप्ने स जीवः सुखदुःखभोक्ता स्वमायया कल्पितजीवलोके सुषुप्तिकाले सकले विलीने तमो विभूतः सुखरूपमेति पुनश्च जन्मान्तरकर्मयोगात् स एव जीवस्वपिति प्रबुद्धः पुरत्रये क्रीडति यश्च जीवः ततस्तु जातं सकलं विचित्रम् आधारमानन्दमखण्डबोधम् यस्मिन् लयं याति पुरत्रयं च. So the three avasthas are described here, and also the nature of that Supreme Self is indicated. We have these three states of experience, what we call the Jagrat, Swapna and Sushupti. Jagrat is waking state, Swapna is dream, Sushupti is deep sleep. Deep sleep means dreamless sleep state. These are the three states of experiences which we have. In Jagrat, we experience this world through our senses. We see, perceive this world. We perceive the Shabda, Sparsha, Rupa, Rasa, Gandha, the sound, the touch, the sight, the taste, and the smell, the fragrance. These are experienced through our senses. And who is the experiencer? I. Who am I? We don't know. But I am the experiencer of all this stimuli which comes to me. Not only I experience the world through my senses, but I also experience through my mind. Mind has got the capacity to think. So whatever stimuli I get through the senses, I can think about them. Also, the mind responds to the stimuli, which are like the emotions. They are the emotions. Some stimuli are conducive, so we feel happy. Some are not so conducive, so we feel unhappy. Also gives rise to anger, jealousy, greed, kindness. Different types of emotions are experienced. Then we also analyze these emotions, we also analyze the experiences and arrive at certain understanding. So that is the intellect which gives me certain understanding of this world. But behind these senses, behind our mind, behind the intellect, am I. I am the one who is experiencing this world. And this experience or this state of experience is what is called the waking state. So in the waking state, I am identified with the body, with the senses, with the mind to gain this experience. Then during the day, I'm busy experiencing the world, but the body gets tired, the senses also gets tired, and we want to just rest, we want to sleep. So the senses get withdrawn when we lie down on our bed. The senses get withdrawn from the world, and they are withdrawn into the mind. But the mind, the intellect, the antakarana remains active. But we are no longer aware of the world outside. So, this mind, intellect, the antakarana, from whatever samskars, from whatever impressions which are stored within them, they project a world, means the thinking, the imagining, the what you call the expression of this antakarana keeps on happening, and we experience a world created by our antakarana, similar to this world which we experience in the waking. And sometimes it is similar, sometimes it is quite vague. It has got its own laws. One may experience oneself flying also in the dream. We can experience strange things in the dream. Even if we have some defects in our waking, we seem to overcome those defects in our dream. A lame person also can dream that he is running. So, in this way, we have this what we call the dream experience. So, the one who has experienced, I who have experienced the waking, the same I experienced the dream. And when I again wake up from my dream, I remember my dream for some time, or some people remember for a longer time. So I remember that I had this experience of dream. At that time, when we were dreaming, we we might have we think that that is the waking only, but when we wake up, then we come to know that it was a dream. Sometimes we have a happy dream, sometimes we have a nightmare. So that is the dream experience. So I am present in my dream. I am present in my waking. I am present in my dream. But if we try to understand who am I, then we get confused with our body, our mind, our senses, our thoughts, our emotions. So it becomes difficult to comprehend exactly who am I. Because body, mind, senses, all of them are like equipments. But I am different from them. I'm using those equipments, but I am different from those equipments. So exactly who am I, it doesn't become clear. Then again, when I'm dreaming, after some time, the mind also gets tired, and the mind also withdraws from its activities. The Shastras say the mind withdraws into the pranas. The mind, along with the senses, take rest in the pranas. And the prana remains active. The pancha pranas which are expressing in this body, they remain active, but the mind is no longer active. The senses also are no longer active. So that state is experienced as a deep sleep state. The pranas remain active and keeps the body alive. But what about me? I am totally cut off from everything in deep sleep. I exist there because when I wake up, I say that, oh, I was there, I slept well. So I exist in my deep sleep, free from all connections with my body, with my senses, with my antakarana. So that one who is existing, even when separated from the body, mind, senses, that that entity is the real I. But we do not comprehend ourselves. I cannot be comprehended with the help of my senses, my mind, because they don't function there. So when we analyze these three states of experiences, then our attention can be shifted to that self, which is so mysterious and which cannot be known through any other praman. So, what is that? What is the nature of that self which is so mysterious? That is revealed in the Shastras. So, here in this few mantras, the teacher slowly takes us to that point, to that self, when it is free from all upadhis, when it is free from all conditionings, and reveal the real identity of that self. So let us try to understand this. Hmm. So here in the 12th mantra, the teacher says, Ki sa eva maya parimohitatma. Sa eva, he alone. He alone is who alone? The one who was indicated as Brahma, as as uh, as Virajam, Vishuddham, Vishadam, Vishokam, as Achintyam, Avyaktam, Anantarupam, Shivam, Prashantam, Amrutam, Brahma Yonim, Tathadi Madhyanta Vihinam Ekam, Vibhum, Chidananda Rupam, Abhutam. Again, who was indicated as Uma Sahayam, Parameshwaram, Prabhum, Trilochanam, Neelakantham, Prashantam. That Parameshwara alone, who is also Brahma, Shiva, Indra, Akshara, Parama, Swarat, Vishnu, Prana, Kala, Agni, Chandrama. That Brahma, who alone was present in the past as everything, Sa eva sarvam yad bhutam yadcha bhavyam sanatanam. And who is present as the self of all and in whom everything exists. That Brahma alone is this Atma. I. I who am experiencing the waking, the dream, the deep sleep, that I, that Atma means I, am experiencing the waking, so that Brahma alone am I, who is experiencing this waking, dream, and deep sleep, but having that ignorance about myself. So I having this ignorance about my own supreme nature. And because of this ignorance, I identify with all these conditionings. That is revealed here. The one who is experiencing the waking is sa eva maya parimohitatma, that he alone, deluded by this maya, by this Shakti, Shakti of that my own supreme self, deluded by the expressions of this maya as this world, as our body, as our mind, as the senses, as the pranas. So saiva maya parimohitatma shariramastaya karoti sarvam, identified with the body, with the gross physical body as well as the subtle body, considers itself as the doer of actions, performs various types of action. Karoti sarvam. See, though I am different from the body, the mind, the intellect, activities happen in the body, experiences happen through the mind, the intellect. Though I am different from them, due to ignorance, I identify with them and considers myself as the doer of actions. It's the most amazing thing which has happened. It's like a pot is there, made up of clay, and in that pot is space. And outside the pot also there is space. So space is different from the pot. The pot moves, but the space doesn't move. The pot changes, but the space doesn't change. Pot breaks, but the space doesn't break. Our body is like the pot, and Atma is like space. But very strange that though I am different from this body, I consider myself as the body. When the body changes, I feel or I say I am changing. When the body moves, I say I move. So falsely, I identify with this body and consider nature of this body as my own. So this is the avidya, ignorance, and the effect of ignorance, which is seen, which is experienced in the waking state. So the body is active, the mind is active, the intellect is active, and their activities depend on the samskars which are there in the mind, the intellect. So based on this samskar, the activities happen. Based on the samskars, the activities happen. So the activities which are happening in the body, the mind, are all according to the laws of Prakriti only. All happens according to the laws of Prakriti. Prakriti kriyamanani gunai sarvani gunai karmani sarvashaha ahankara vimodhatma karta aham iti manyate. Everything happens in Bhagavad Gita also. Bhagavan says that everything is happening according to the laws of Prakriti only. But I, due to ignorance, think that I am doing. I am the doer. So this strange ignorance is there, which is making me think differently. So shariram asthaya, as though seated in the body, I perform various types of actions. In Bhagavad Gita also, in the 13th chapter, Bhagwan tells about this Purusha and Prakriti. So this Atma is also indicated as Purusha, who is present in this Pura. This body is like a Pura, like a city. And the one who appears to live in this city is the Purusha. So this body is the product of Prakriti. And in this Prakriti is that Purusha. So both Purusha and Prakriti are anadi, are beginningless. Purusham Prakritin Chaiva Vidhi Anadi Ubhav Api. They are both beginningless, means they are always there. So Purusha, seated in this Prakriti, experiences the joys and sorrows. In Gita, Bhagavan says, Purusha Prakritisto hi bhumte Prakriti janguna. This Purusha, seated in Prakriti, experiences the joys and sorrows revealed or given by the Prakriti. Same thing is said here. This I, the Atma, due to confusion regarding this Maya Parimohitatma, Shariram Asthaya, seated as though in this body, does different types of action. Just like the face seated in the pot performs various actions, moving. Really speaking, the pot is moving, space is not moving. So what type of actions do we perform? We interact with the world. And why do we interact with the world? What propels us into these actions? The vasanas, the impressions which are stored in the mind, in the intellect. Based on those impressions, the actions happen. Just like we have that alarm clock and we set it for a particular time. And then when that time comes, suddenly the alarm starts ringing. Similarly, the impressions which are there, they are like the alarm clock. Propelled by them, the actions happen. But I, the Atma, not knowing that this is all happening due to the laws of Prakriti, thinks that I am the doer. Hmm. So these actions are propelled to give those pleasures. So stri anna panadi vichitra bhogaihi. So one gets propelled into this action to experience the joys in this world through interaction with other human beings, the man with the woman, also through food, by eating, then panadi, drinking. So vichitra bhogaihi, all this variety of bhoga is there. By indulging in all this bhoga, the self seems to feel content and happy. Saiva Jagrat Paritrupti Meti. In the Jagrat Avastha, gains that contentment, that pleasure, that joy through interaction with the world around. So this is the Jagrat Avastha. Totally immersed in ignorance, we feel I am the doer and I am the enjoyer of this results of actions which are happening. That is where we find ourselves in the waking. Then, as we continue with the indulgence in the waking, the senses get tired, the body gets tired. Then the senses get withdrawn from the world. We feel sleepy. The senses get withdrawn from the world, but the antakarana remains active. And that antakarana projects a world. Similar to this waking world, the antakarana projects a world. Projects a world means the antakarana continues to think and imagine and visualize, and we experience that as a world. And that is our dream state. So swapne, in swapna, sajivaha, that same jiva, that same atma, that same purusha, means I alone experience sukha dukkha bhokta. I experience the sukha and dukkha in dream, joys and sorrows. Physical world is not there in dream. In my waking, I might be a very poor person, but in my dream, I become very rich. And I enjoy the luxuries in my dream. I might be hungry in my waking, but in my dream, I eat different varieties of food. In my waking, I might have some defects in my limbs, but in my dream, all of them seem to be fine. Or sometimes we have a negative experiences also, full of sorrow, pain, fear in our dream. So swapne sa jiva sukha dukkha bhokta. In swapna, the same jiva experiences sukha and dukkha. Where in swapna loka, and from where the swapna loka came, it says swamayaya kalpita jiva loke. The jiva loka, the swapna loka is kalpita, is imagined by my own power. Means they are imagined by the mind itself. Our antakaran itself projects that dream world. Dream world is projected by my own mind, my own intellect. And I just experience it. Very strange, in my dream, I don't remember my waking. I am totally cut off from this physical world and experience the dream world. So kalpita, swamayaya kalpita jiva loke. And this dream goes on till our mind gets tired and the mind stops functioning. Mind what you call, gets absorbed in the pranas. Mind means the antakarana gets absorbed in the pranas. They take rest in the pranas, and that is experienced as sushupti avastha. So sushupti kale, in deep sleep, sakale viline, everything gets merged. The world is no longer experienced. The senses are merged into the mind. The mind gets merged into the pranas. So nothing is there, everything is merged. Sakale viline. Tamo vibhutaha. Everything goes into as tamogun. The mind, the intellect, they just goes to rest. They just become dull and rest in darkness as though. So that is called tamovibhutaha. They become tamasic. All activities come to a halt. But what about me? What happens to me? Sukha rupameti. I just remain as happiness. Because that is my nature. I remain as I am. Because that is my nature. What is my nature? Sukham. So I remain as Sukha only. Now also I am Sukha. But due to the distractions of this body, mind, I don't recognize myself as Sukha. In dream also I am Sukha. But because there is uh, this nightmare, I experience sorrow. But in dream, in deep sleep, there are no distractions of the mind, the intellect, so I remain as Sukha. Again, to give example of the pot, the space inside the pot as though takes the shape of the pot, as though has got the same function as that of the pot. If the pot is moving, we think the space is moving. But suppose the pot breaks, then what happens to the space inside the pot? Nothing. It just remains as it is. Even when the pot is present, that space inside the pot remains. It is as it is. Doesn't get affected by the pot. So in deep sleep, I remain as myself as Sukham. Sukharupamiti. In the Upanishad, Chandogya Upanishad, it was said that we become one with, we remain as Sat in deep sleep. So Sushupti Kale Sakale Viline Tamo Vibhuta Sukharupameti. These are the three states of experience, which are really the three states of the body, the mind, the intellect, and not of the Atma. Because Atma remains same. In the waking also I am as I am. In dream also I am as I am. And in deep sleep also I remain as I am. But the mind, the intellect keeps on fluctuating and giving rise to this type of experiences. So I experience deep sleep. I become one. I mean, I remain as Sukha. Sukha Rupameti. And that is what we want. We want to just abide in our own nature as sukha. So if we have already attained sukha in deep sleep, then how come we wake up from there? If we have attained what we want, then why do we wake up? The Upanishad gives the reason. Says कि पुनश्च जन्मांतर कर्म योगात स एव जीव स्वपिति प्रबुद्धः. That though I remain there in deep sleep as myself, the mind, the intellect, the senses are withdrawn from the world. They also remain dormant, but they are not destroyed. The mind, the intellect, the antakarana is not destroyed. It just remains dormant for some time. So the samskars which are there in the mind, the intellect from the past many, many lifetimes are also not destroyed. They are there. And those samskars have to express in order to fulfill themselves. So again, those in Sushupti, when the mind, intellect are resting, again after some time, the samskars get activated, and it again the mind, intellect wakes up. And when the mind, intellect wakes up, I feel I am awake. I have woken up. So punascha janmantara karma yoga. Again, because of the past, so many janma and the karma which are performed in the past many, many lifetimes, there are some scars which are there in the antakarana. Due to this samskars, Saiva Jiva, the same Jiva means same I, the same that Atma, myself, Swapiti Prabuddhaha, dreams and again wakes up. From the Sushupti, we come to the dream and then we wake up. So, in this way, we keep playing in these three states of experience. Puratraye kridati yascha jivaha. So, this jiva, this Atma, this Antaratma, who is also called Purusha, who is also called Kshetrajna, who is also called Jiva. So this Jiva, as though plays in these three states, Puratraye Kridati, he plays. Sometimes he is in waking, sometimes in dream, sometimes deep sleep, then again waking, then again dream. So it keeps on fluctuating like that. Keeps on playing in these three states of experience. So the three states keep on changing. The mind keeps on changing. The buddhi keeps on changing. The sharir keeps on, the stula sharir keeps on changing. But the atma remains same and it appears to be moving in these three states. But really speaking, the atma is not moving. The three states are moving in front of it. I remain as I am. The three states come in front of me and disappear or keep moving, but I remain as I am. See, sometimes when we are traveling by train, we are seated in one compartment, and there is another train on the next track. It is also stationary. Our train is also stationary. And then that other train moves. But for some time we feel as though our train is moving. Seeing the movement of that train, we feel we are moving. Then, after observing properly here and there, we come to know that we are stationary, that train is moving in front of us. Similarly, the Jagrat, Swapna, Sushupti is like a train which is moving, but I am stationary. I, who am the witness of these three states, am stationary. I am not moving. But when they are moving, I feel as though I am moving. So, sa eva jiva swapiti prabuddha. So, same jiva who has gone to deep sleep means the mind intellect has gone into sushupti avastha. When they wake up, it appears as though the same jiva has woken up. So, sa eva jiva swapiti prabuddha. Puratraye kridati yascha jiva. So, this jiva who is playing in these three states of experience, this jiva who remaining same as though plays in the three states of experience, what is its nature? What is its identity? So that is revealed here. The Shastra say, कि ततस्तु जातम sakalam vichitram. That jiva, don't think that it is just confined to this body, that I am not confined only to this body, but I am that source of this entire creation. Just like in a pot, that space is there, but don't think that that space is confined only to the pot. That space is so vast, infinite, that everything arises in that space, is sustained in that space and dissolves in that space. In the same way, that I, the jiva, am that supreme self in whom everything is born. Tatastu jatam sakalam vichitram. In me, all this vichitra world is born. The waking world is born in me. The dream world is born in me. The deep sleep world is born in me. Tatastu jatam sakalam vichitram. Adharam, anandam, akhanda bodham. What is my nature? I am the adhar, I am the support of all these three states of experience. Anandam, I am of the nature of happiness. Akhanda bodham, and I am of the nature of unbroken knowledge. The knowledge which doesn't get broken, remains same all the time. Yasmin layan yati puratrayancha. So all these three states are born in me and again dissolves in me, and I remain same. Just like in water, the bubbles are born, bubbles remain, and bubbles they merge into that water. Similarly, in me, the three states of experience are born, they remain and they merge. Adharam anandam akhanda bodham yasmin layam yati puratrayancha. In this, in me only, all these three puras, they they dissolve into me. So through these three states of experience, that Atma, Shuddha Atma, which is also indicated as Turiya, is pointed out. It is present in the waking, in the dream, in the deep sleep. But it is different from all this. It is different from all that which we see, hear, taste, touch. It is different from what we feel, what we think. It is different from all this. In that am I. You are that. So just imagine that you are that like space, all pervading space, infinite space, infinite space. There's no limit of any kind. Then a pot maker makes a pot. A pot is born. A pot is born, and I, the space, who is also present in the pot, somehow start thinking that I am the pot. I am this pot. And once that false notion comes into me, then all the problem starts. If the pot moves, I say I am moving. If the pot changes, I say I am changing. If the pot gets cracked, I say I am cracked. But then, when a wise person gives me the knowledge that you are not the pot, you are the space within, Tattvamasi, the pot is born in you, the pot is sustained in you, the pot merges back into you, you remain sane. Similarly, here the teacher is telling the waking is born in you, the dream is born, dream world is born in you, the deep sleep is present in you. All of them are born, they are sustained, and they get dissolved in you. You remain, say, Satchidanand, Adharam, Anandam, Akhandabodham, Yasmin Layam Yati Puratrayancha. In you only all these three puras, they, they merge. So this is a very beautiful analysis of the three states of experience to point out the fourth. The same thing is done in much more detail in Mandukya Upanishad. But here, briefly, the teacher, through these three states, the fourth is pointed out. See, if we want to point out to the distant star, we take some support from this world. If nothing is there, then we take support of our finger. We say, oh, that is that pole star, the North Star. We point to that star with our finger. But just imagine, our finger is so very far away from that star, or that star is so far, far away. Finger cannot touch it. But when we are pointing to that star, one has to look in the direction of that finger. For some time, we can take support of the finger. But thereafter, we have to just leave the finger and just move in that same direction and look. And there we will see that pole star. Similarly, this Jagrat Swapna Sushupti is like a finger. So, with the help of this finger, the teacher is pointing out to the Turiya Atma. That is what we have to recognize. See more about this we will see in our class. We will have few days break. I will be traveling. So the next class we will have on 24th of February, Monday, 24th. We will have the next class. Then we will continue with this Avasthatraya Vivek and understand how that Turiya is pointed out, and also the nature of this Turiya will be revealed. So till then, you take care, be happy, safe, peaceful, healthy, do your work, do your sadhana, and see you again on 24th of February. Okay? Hari Om. Shri Ram Jaya Ram Jaya Jaya Ram. 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 Jaya Jaya Ram. Jaya Jaya Ram. बोलिए सियावर रामचंद्र भगवान की जय. ओम पूर्णमदः पूर्णमिदं पूर्णात् पूर्णमुदच्यते पूर्णस्य पूर्णमादाय पूर्णमेवावशिष्यते. ओम शांति शांति शांति. हरि ओम. श्री गुरुभ्यो नमः. हरि ओम.